Unpack, fellow travel warriors. I'm Steve.
And I'm George.
Join us as we unpack the challenges, excitement, preparation,
and passion for travel.
George, we're back at it again. Hey, I just want to say congrats to completing 25 episodes on our Travel Warrior show. 25. On our way to 50.
It's gone by really fast, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been so great. Like I mentioned to you before, 10 years from now, we'll look back and be glad we did these and share some of our road stories. And if we're still doing it, we can certainly have new content for our new trips and adventures.
Absolutely. Well, for today's episode, Steve, I thought we'll kind of switch gears. I know last week, we talked about adventure travel and your trip to Antelope Canyon and Arches National Park, which was a fantastic episode, I thought. But I thought that this week we would kind of switch gears and do something a little bit different. As you know, I'm planning a trip next year around February and March, and it is an international trip. So one of the things I came across a few years ago when I planned a trip to Colombia and Panama was the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, or STEP for short. Are you familiar with this?
I believe I have seen it. Is it similar to like Global Entry? I can't remember.
Well, what it is, and I can't really remember how I came across it, if it was side or something came through my feed. But basically, it's a free service by the U.S. State Department that helps citizens or helps U.S. citizens stay informed while traveling abroad. And it's free to sign up. And what you do is you just put your information in where you're traveling to, and it links you up to the closest U.S. embassy to where you're traveling. So in 2021, we traveled first to Panama City, Panama, and then Cartagena, Colombia. So I thought, hey, I'll just try this out. So it's real simple. Again, free of charge to sign up, to register. It's real simple. You sort of just put in the information, where you're going, the dates. You kind of have to put where you're staying also. And it registers you with, again, the nearest U.S. embassy. And on top of that, it gives you alerts in the country that you're going to. So it was funny. I don't mean to laugh, but since we were going to Panama and Colombia, we would get weekly updates of all the travel risk, again, traveling to those countries with, kidnappings, murders, drug trafficking, the places, and it'll list like the cities or the states of those countries. So I had to kind of do a check to make sure we weren't in those areas. And so why I'm laughing is because I registered Zoraida too, since we were both traveling. So she was getting the same updates. And she was coming to me like, where are we going? Like, where are you taking us to these two dangerous countries? So I had to kind of calm her fears, like, hey, we're not going to Medellin. We're not going to some of these other places that possibly has some uprisings, in that country. And at the time, there was a lot of that in Colombia in 2021. I thought it was pretty neat. Again, it's kind of like insurance in a way. You don't need it unless you need it, right? So if something were to happen to us in a foreign country, at least the U.S. Embassy knows that we're traveling there. So a couple of things, I kind of looked up some of the pros and cons of the program, and I'll just read some of them off, right? Because some people may think, this is a great idea. Other people are like, I'm not going to waste my time. I've traveled for years. I really don't need this or need to do this. Some of the pros, again, real-time updates on safety, health, and security concerns in the destination that you're traveling to. Access to U.S. Embassy support. Again, the U.S. Embassy knows it's easier. It lets you communicate to the nearest U.S. Embassy or consulate in case of emergencies. Another is peace of mind for the travelers and families. Okay, family members can be more easily contacted during emergencies because you do have to put emergency contacts when you're registering. Okay, again, I've said this before, it is free of charge. The registration process is pretty straightforward and easy. And then it encourages travelers to stay informed about potential risk in foreign countries. And you may go to a country and not really pay attention to the news or what's going on. I know, Steve, you're big at keeping in touch really globally at what's going on. You're always kind of calling me and say, hey, in this country, this is going on, and this country is going on, especially in the Americas, North, Central, and South America. I sometimes don't even pay attention. I don't even know what's going on half the time. Okay. So, signing up for this could kind of open your eyes to what's really going on in the country and being aware. Some of the cons I would say that I kind of uncovered or thought about registering with this program is, some people may not want to share their travel plans with the government, right? Hey, I don't want Big Brother knowing where
Privacy.
I'm going and what I'm doing, right? Tracking me. Other is maybe the country specific alerts are maybe a little bit delayed. A lot of it's real time, but there's that slim chance that that information is a little bit delayed getting to you to the country that you're visiting. The other one is just because you sign up for this program doesn't mean you don't have to be vigilant and aware. And some of these countries that you go to may still be dangerous. So just don't think that signing up for this means you have 24-hour protection. You have the CIA protecting you
Yeah.
or something. And then you never know in a crisis, if you're in one, what'll actually happen, right? We've seen where U.S. embassies have had bombings to it, right? We've seen U.S. embassies have hostages. We've seen this, it's happened around the world. So God forbid that you're in a country where something like that happens, stuff may go slower than anticipated. Regarding crisis and stuff with the embassy going on. So it's not 100% foolproof. So the trips that I've signed up for were the trip to Colombia and Panama. Now our trip to India, Nepal, and the Maldives, to be honest, I forgot. I didn't do it for whatever reason. I didn't make a note in my spreadsheet. Hey, don't forget to sign up for it. When I went to Brazil this past April, I did sign up for it. One of the reasons why Zoraida didn't come with me was she didn't feel safe going to Rio. And so that sort of triggered in my mind, hey, forgot to sign up for the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. When I logged into my account, it'll list the previous trips that you signed up for, and the trip to India wasn't in there. So I forgot. So I did the trip to Brazil and Argentina. And then for the trip coming up in next year, I plan to travel to the Middle East. We'll definitely sign up for that trip. I'm trying to think, this program, I kind of looked it up. When did it start? It started in 2010. The web address, and I will put it down in the description, it is step.state.gov. And if you don't mind, Stevie, I like to read some stuff off the website. Is that okay?
Go for it. Of course.
So really on the first page, and I won't bore, when you get in there, you'll see the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, the created account or login, and it kind of, traveling, enroll a trip and get alerts, staying at home, get travel advisories, frequent traveler, create an account. So again, just starting in here on the first page of their website, what is STEP? The Smart Traveler Enrollment Program is a free service to allow U.S. citizens and nationals traveling and living abroad to enroll their trip with the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. Again, went over that earlier. The benefits of enrolling in STEP, again, from their website: receive important information from the embassy about safety conditions in your destination country, helping you make informed decisions about your travel plans, help the U.S. Embassy contact you in an emergency, whether natural disaster, civil unrest, or family emergency, and help family and friends get in touch with you in an emergency. Stay informed, stay connected, stay safe.
Good advice.
Yeah. So, for all of us that love to travel and we travel outside the US and within the US, this could be a good option to do. I know and hope that we never have to use it. But if we do use it, because you never know, if something happens in a foreign country,
Right.
right? It's look at the hostages that just got released, right, a week ago with the US and Russian
Yep.
swap.
Correct. And other countries, I think, were involved in that swap deal. I
Yeah.
think three or four, possibly five. I consider doing now looking back and how you mentioned how the program works. I did consider that program. I think it was in mom passed away in 2014, and we had to abruptly get there as soon as possible. So I didn't have time to even consider that. But certainly I considered it in 2015 and 16. I've been fortunate that when I've been to El Salvador, at that time was one of the most dangerous places on earth to be in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I've always done when on my trips to El Salvador a risk assessment. What are the places that I'm going to be visiting? And I'm going to be honest with you, never rented a car in El Salvador. I've never needed to. Because oftentimes, where am I going to go to by myself? In other words, the area where I stay, number one, is the safest area in the country. Number two, the hotels are anchored around safer communities that have shopping. Like for instance, at the Intercontinental Real in San Salvador, what I love about that location, although it's very congested, is that they have a pedestrian bridge that crosses and connects the hotel to the largest mall in the country. And I always love that because, when I get up and going, if I want to go there to have breakfast or have a coffee, or maybe I need to go to the pharmacy and pick up some drugs or medications, or just basically just walk around and people watch and look at the stores, etc. So again, getting back to it, doing a risk assessment. I think if you're in a country where you're going to be traveling by and large by yourself and you're driving and you're in these outside areas, it's probably a good reason. Because let's say you had the misfortune of a bad car wreck, okay? Your phone is lost, your family or friends are trying to get a hold of you, but you've enrolled in that STEP program so that when you're in the hospital, they may notify, if you let them self attest that you're an American citizen, they can notify the American embassy, hey, we have a gentleman by the name of George from Oklahoma. He's here. He's not in this hospital. And then pretty much your family or friends can contact the embassy and they can report back, yeah, we did get a notification from a local hospital that George was involved in a car wreck, and this is the details for the hospital. That would be great. So I think as part of that preparation that we talk about when we do our intro, yes, that's very wise preparation, I think,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what kind of activities you're going to do. On the flip side of that, we have even though none of our family lives in El Salvador, we do have
Mm-hmm.
family friends from the old guard, and their kids. And so I've had the good fortune that, I'm in town. I say, hello. Hey, can we come by to the hotel and pick you up and we can have lunch and catch up? So I've had the good fortune that they'll come by the hotel, pick me up, and they know how to get there. They know the routes to take and all that. The last thing I want to do is be in another international city and be in a traffic jam, or
Mm-hmm.
have a flat tire or, something like this. I don't want to deal with that kind of aggravation. I know that you've been in probably one of the most congested places on earth where you certainly wouldn't want to be driving in
Mm-hmm.
India, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a wise move. I think you just have to pick and choose which country, which visit that would be wise to do, just in case.
Yeah.
Particularly with the kind of hiking that you've done, where you're really away from it all. What if, like, again, there's an emergency or an accident, something happens. So you'll hopefully we'll share that link with our audience so they can click on it and get a little bit more of a deep dive into how that program works.
Yeah. I will definitely put that in our description. But that's really all I wanted to share today with our audience. If we love to have any feedback, and for those that have used it, or signed up, used it, or ever had to use it, that'd be great to hear from you.
That'd be great feedback. Well, thank you for joining us. And please join our ever-growing community of travel warriors, and let's keep this journey going.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay updated on our latest episodes. Until next time, safe travel.